The Alpha Sessions with Emma Joyce.
I'm Emma, this is The Alpha Sessions, and I'm here with DrewJam. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good, yeah, good.
Good. Thank you so much for coming into the studio. And we were just saying off air how you've almost come back to the scene as such. What made you decide to come back?
Coming back to play music, so I suppose in terms of your point about coming back,
yes.
So I guess when I had my two young girls, there was less time for me to play music, but I started playing music when I was very young, when I was about 5, so it's always been a really important part of my life. So I just had a bit of a gap where I couldn't play very much, and I had to sort of, it's almost like something that's part of me, playing music, so I really wanted to get back into it, and I got sort of made more aware of the music scene in my local area, and I got inspired to kind of get involved again. I'd always sort of dabbled a little bit while my kids were growing up, but or starting to grow up, I should say. They're certainly not grown up yet. But, so I was just, it's just an important part of me, really, to play music.
You say you started playing music when you were 5. What's your earliest memory?
My earliest memory, not so much playing an instrument, but one of the vivid memories I have is singing at my grandmother's, I think it was her 60th wedding anniversary. Wow. I was dragged out to play. I shouldn't say dragged out. I probably felt quite shy and felt quite a difficult thing to do at the time, but they appreciated it. Was
that probably your first time singing in front of an audience?
Probably, yeah. I don't know what age. I'm not quite sure how old I was. I was probably older than 5 actually, but I do remember playing the guitar when I was quite young and how painful it was on my little fingers.
Ooh. So what did you do? Did you carry on?
Carry on
playing guitar even though it hurt your little fingers?
Yeah. It gets easier. It gets easier, and it was my dad that taught me the guitar to start with, and he. I think there was a point at which where I got. I think when you start, it is really painful. It's quite frustrating, like anything you're starting to learn to do. But there came a point where I could play all the 6 strings.
Oh, fun.
And then kind of after that, it felt like I could play most things, and that was when I sort of wasn't as much a chore or difficult a thing to do. It was just really enjoyable. And
you've just got a brand new single out.
Yes.
Talk to us about that.
So the single I've just brought out is called "Measure of the Moment." So this song I wrote quite a few years ago, and there's a few sort of different interpretations, and depending on what where my mind's at when I play it, there could be different ways of understanding it. But partly it's about the balance. I think for a musician, about wanting to chase your goals and become a really successful musician, alongside balancing that with the fact that what you've got and all the things I appreciate, I should really appreciate, rather than having to chase my kind of dreams all the time. But there's a bit of ambiguity in that, about kind of like I have a day job and I have a music passion, and it's kind of how to manage that, really. So partly it's driven by that, but I guess other takes on it would be that a lot of the time these days people are very focused on social media and not kind of thinking about the here and now all the time. So I think there's some part of it that's partly about appreciating, because a lot of the time, especially these days, we talk about how we are addicted to our phones all the time.
Absolutely.
And kind of like it's not always about taking photos, but actually just kind of being present and appreciating what you're doing in the moment. So that's a bit of a long explanation, but I really enjoy playing it. I always seem to enjoy playing that song. Yeah.
That feels really ironic, because I can imagine you playing that at a gig and then somebody else videoing it, and then you singing that song and it being like, well, hang on a minute, listen to what he's actually saying.
Living's the other dream. Take your feelings to some other place. Carefree, foolish love will give you everything you need. All you want is on the other side of reason. All you fear is something must be missing. all you want sits on the other side of reason. All you need is a measure of the moments. Here is where it starts, it's where it ends. Living the other dream, take your feelings to some other place. Carefree, foolish love will give you everything you need. What do you stand to lose? What do you stand to gain? Living life through these different scenes, restless minds will wander away. Oh, you want it on the other side of reason. Oh, you feel as something must be missing from your life. Oh, you want it on the other side of reason. Oh, you need is a measure of the moment. Here is where it starts, it's where it ends. The only promise they can make to you is one that they think will make you succeed. The only promise they can make to you is one that you truly do not need. On the other side of reason, all you need is a measure of the moment. Here is where it starts, it's where it ends.
The Alpha Sessions with Emma Joyce.
So where do you find the time to write your songs with balancing all this stuff?
So a lot of the songs I've already written, I wrote when I was before I had kids actually. So
Okay.
Sort of still dining out on lots of time when I wrote lots of songs. But I do steal moments when I can. So for example, last summer I after having been out playing music with some friends, I got home and started writing a tune, and then the words are often more difficult. But I managed a few days after that to go out cycling. And just was able to write a song when I was sort of staring into a really beautiful scene. So,
wow.
So that was quite. Doesn't always happen as easily as that, but yeah, just sometimes getting out in a bit of space and a bit of time is a good way of clearing your head. And yeah, so that's one version of events anyway.
So the tune normally comes first before the lyrics?
Yeah, with me, almost. Sometimes they're simultaneous. So I think that song, the latest single, I think there's probably the bit in the middle, a measure of the moment, or some bits of that might have happened at the same time.
Yeah.
And then you develop other things off the back of that. But often it's the music, whether that's on the piano or the guitar, and then the words are a bit more difficult to take a bit longer to develop.
And you're living in Hertfordshire at the moment. We were chatting briefly about just how bubbly and how bustling the Hertfordshire music scene was. Do you have a favourite venue that you've played?
Oh, that's a good question. Favourite venue? So I'm not sure. I think there's a venue I've played at which I really there's a few venues I've played at that I really enjoyed. There's a pub in Baldock called The Engine, which I really enjoyed playing at, and another in Hitchin, which is called the Cooper's Arms.
Okay.
So some friends of mine who put on music, they invited me to play there one night, and I hadn't, because I'd taken quite a break from music for a while. It was the first time I'd played the piano in public for quite a long time.
So hang on, what, you play the piano too? You missed this vital bit of information.
Yeah. No, I play the piano, yeah.
Multi-talented. Sorry, Karen.
That's all right. Yeah, that came a little bit later. The piano, yeah. So that was it was a particularly fun evening. That was because I got to play lots of my songs to people that hadn't heard them before. So it was really fun. Yeah.
Was it scary coming back? Did you find it nervous playing live after a few years?
Not really, no. Because I hadn't completely switched it off, but I didn't find it nervous. No, I just found it therapeutic, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just to kind of it's great to kind of. I get a lot of energy from performing. There's something about playing music which is a sort of oxygen for me, really.
So nice.
Yeah.
And before you took your break, you were in a duo.
I was in a duo a bit earlier than that. Yeah. Well, it was kind of a duo. I played guitar for a friend of mine. Yeah, played guitar and sang backing vocals, and mostly they were his songs, and they're really great songs. And then and occasionally we played some of my songs as well. So, but it was a lot of fun. I did that for a long time and he now lives in Barcelona. So I don't see much of him these days.
I was going to ask, was it weird sort of going solo, and did it ever feel lonely?
I don't think it feels lonely, but I think there is something about just being a musician on your own that can, when I compare myself to bands and stuff, where you can share all the jobs a little bit. There just feels sometimes to be quite a lot on a musician when they're doing it, all the promotion and everything themselves.
So feeling the pressure a little bit.
Sometimes balancing all these things, it's hard work.
What about you? What kind of music are you into when you're not writing your own stuff?
Well, so it's quite a few different bits of music. There's a track I'm really kind of obsessed with at the moment, which is called "Nothing Breaks Like a Heart." I can't think of the
Miley Cyrus.
That's the one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the whole mixture. There's an album. Of course, very into Eric Clapton when I was growing up, so I learnt one of his records all the way through. And I was very early on when I was a bit younger, I used to really enjoy listening to Crowded House, and still really a big fan of Neil Fenn, who does lots of solo material still. So the whole mixture really. It's always quite difficult to say what you listen to the most, but
a good kind of example is, I don't know if you had headphones on or you had music on your phone or whatever, or a playlist on some streaming service.
Well, there's a song, a song at the moment, which we're playing a lot in our house by a guy called Gavin James.
Okay. It sounds familiar, actually.
He's a singer-songwriter from Cork in Ireland. One of my friends, musician friends, told me to listen to it and learn the song, which I did do. So there's a song called Always, which we really like in our house and playing. So that's a kind of sort of rocky but also sort of intimate sort of melodic song. I quite enjoy playing. Yeah, but it's great. Streaming services are great, but though musicians don't get a lot of money from streaming, it is great to kind of explore and find out new music. So yeah.
Do you think the music you listen to kind of inspires the music that you write?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, it definitely. Though it's quite interesting when people hear my music and they say you sound like somebody, and then that person is like an artist I've not heard before. So that's
is that weird?
It can be a bit weird, which is good. I suppose that they hear something in my music that they relate to, which is great. But yeah, no, there's no doubt that I guess that the music I listen to influences, or that I have listened to influences. Yeah, it's quite difficult to figure out where you get all the influences from, but it's somewhere out there. And
I think it kind of just comes out naturally.
Yeah, just comes out, and it is what it is. Yeah.
Live a month, how time it passes by so quick. 11 months have I known you. 11 months, day and night I'm thinking of you. 11 months, what does this feel like? The sun rises like the sun has never risen before, and it shines on me. You're so fragile yet you're testing everything I know. 11 months, day and night I'm thinking of you. 11 months, what does this feel like? 11 months, simping, smiling, turmoil's past 11 months. What do I know now? You see your world is now opening its eyes. There's some sights to behold. You've been crawling, rolling, now we can stand on our own. 11 months. You see your world is now opening its eyes. Some sights to behold, things to be told. You're so fragile yet you're testing everything I know. In 11 months. Eleven months.
The Alpha Sessions with Emma Joyce.
So do you still play the piano as well then, or is it very much the guitar?
No, I play the piano. Yeah, I do play the piano. Yeah, I've got. I don't have a. We don't have a piano in my house, but we have an electric piano, which I bought quite a few years ago. So I do play that as often as I can. Probably not as much as a guitar. And I don't tend to perform very much with the piano because it's a little bit more inconvenient. But
only that reason. There's no preference.
Not really, no. I think I get different things from the different instruments. There's you can get different. You can get lost in different ways when you're playing it somehow. But hopefully, I've got some festivals coming up in the summertime. Hopefully, I might be able to take the piano and mix it up a bit because it's quite fun to kind of play different sorts of songs.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So, what have you got coming up next?
So I have some music. I've got a lot of festivals coming up in Hertfordshire. Yeah, on the 22nd of June, I've got a couple of festivals. One in Letchworth, where I live, and also in a village in Cambridgeshire called Gamlingay. And then at the end of towards the end of July, there's a festival I'm involved in called Todd in the Hole.
Oh, cool.
Which is it was the first festival the first time it was on was last year. So it's very much a sort of celebrating local music.
Oh, lovely.
There's lots of big bands and busker stage, which I'm on. But it's a really friendly event, and so I've been invited to play there again, which is great fun. So that's at the end of July, and then in the beginning of July, I've got another gig in London, a venue in Fitzrovia. So yeah, I've got quite a busy.
Busy summer ahead.
Yeah, busy.
Yeah.
So it's good though. Yeah, it's great to be out playing. Hopefully promoting and sharing my music with some more people. Yeah.
Do you have any pre-rituals that you have before going on stage? Anything that you have to do?
Tune the guitar. That's one thing I have to do.
That's always a good start.
Rituals. I tend to go a little bit quiet before I go on.
In the zone.
In the zone.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit nervous, but it's not kind of. It's more excitement, I suppose, or exhilaration about going to play on. So people that come and try and talk to me when I'm just about to go on probably don't get very much back.
Just go away. And if you could play in a dream venue with an artist that you would want to play with, dream collaboration, who would that be and where would it be?
Where would it be? The Royal Albert Hall, probably.
Oh,
that's a good venue.
Yeah, absolutely. And who would it be with?
Who would it be
you collaborate
with? Who would it be with? That's a good question.
It could be anyone. It could be as unrealistic as you want it to be.
Okay. So, yeah, one of the people I've already mentioned, Neil Finn, he's a big influence. So he'd be up there, definitely.
Wow.
I'm trying to think of some people that have passed on that have probably been influenced by. Yeah, I can't think of any other.
So
big artists.
Neil Finn and you at the Royal Albert Hall. I reckon that's a pretty good lineup. This is a pretty big question now, and it's one I ask quite a lot of artists, and it's always quite amusing. If you could do this gig in the imaginary world, or the future sometime, and you could have a dream rider that you would want before the gig or after the gig, what would be on it?
Before or after?
It doesn't matter.
Afterwards. That's a good question. What would it be? Probably a really nice. It doesn't sound very rock and roll, but a really big meal, tasty, some really tasty food, and some. I've just been away at a spa, last week. So something like that would probably be pretty cool to kind of chill out. So yeah, it's not rock and roll, but yeah,
that's very cool. And if people want to go online and find out more about you and maybe see you at your next gig, where can they go online? What can they do?
So if you go to DrewJam.com, there's lots of links there to my social media on there. And in particular, if you go to Facebook, there's a list of dates, Facebook and Instagram, which has got a list of dates for some of the festivals that I talked about. So both of those are DrewJam Music. So people go to those social media platforms, DrewJam Music, and it's the same on Twitter. All those dates will be on there for people to check out.
So exciting. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Slow me down, you're such a butterfingers. Will you slow me down again? It's faith when you win and you have no faith. When you're losing, well, we always have. There's denial. It's no disaster, it doesn't matter, don't you understand the truth? It's not forever, but don't say never, 'cause time is such a fickle thing. Stuck in your world of fantasy, you can't believe the things they say about you. What's the point of all of this? They won't think anything less of you. There's no need to hide away. It's no disaster, it doesn't matter, don't you understand the truth? It's not forever, but don't say never, 'cause time is such a fickle thing. It won't put you down, 'cause you're above the ground, knowing all the world will be everything that you want it to be. It won't pull you down, 'cause you're above the ground, knowing all the world will be everything that you want it to be. Caught up in some memories you can't escape from, you can't wait from. Caught up in some memories you must escape from, you will wait from. disaster, it doesn't matter. Don't you understand the truth? It's not forever, but don't say never, 'cause time is such a fickle thing. It won't pull me down, 'cause I'm above the ground, knowing all the world will be everything that I want it to be. It won't pull me down, 'cause I'm above the ground, knowing all the world will be everything that I want it to be. Don't you understand the truth? Ooh, don't you understand my